I'm Steve Bennett. Welcome again to Prophet Musician. We have a wonderful guest with us today. His name is Kevin Van Der Westhuizen. I think I've got that right, Kevin? Close.
Yeah, you're about got it right.
Kevin is from Denver, Colorado. We're going to talk about this whole broad subject of the prophetic, relation to music, and what God's doing today. It's an amazing time we live in terms of God raising up a prophetic apostolic church. There's a lot of warfare that goes with that. Some people kind of have a little bit of problem sometimes with that terminology. But how do you feel about this as a man who's recognized as a prophetic gift, as a prophet?
Well, Steve, I think people need to realize first is that the church is founded on the apostles and the prophets. Right. Jesus Christ being the chief cornerstone. If we throw out the apostles and the prophets, we have a church that has no foundation. And we have had a church worldwide that has been building on a foundation that's extremely weak. Now that the apostles and the prophets have been restored to the body of Christ, there is a great attack against the apostolic and the prophetic wave. And that's something that we have to just accept, because it's a change, it's a transformation, it's a reformation that's in the church, and people don't understand that. You know, Isaiah 4:6 says that people perish because of the lack of knowledge. And a lot of times the attack comes not because people are wanting to be vindictive, but because they lack knowledge.
Sure.
They don't realize that this is a wave of God. A church, a local church, needs a foundation of apostolic prophetic ministry input into it. And what is happening with this wave is that there is such a radical expression, especially in worship and in praise, in music. It's an expression that the church hasn't seen yet. You know, so many people paid an awesome price to come from traditional lines of churches into Pentecostal charismatic lines of churches. Now the move is on again.
Because we can create tradition even in charismatic Pentecostal circles quite easily, like 5 or 10, 20 years.
Not only can we, but we have.
That's right.
And the charismatic Pentecostal churches have become as traditional in their move or in their wave as what the traditional churches or the old evangelical churches are. And so, you know, it's just a different form of tradition, or it has a different flavor to the tradition. And now God's moving again, and He's raising up the apostles and the prophets, and there's this radical expression that is coming out in the prophetic voice and the apostolic and the prophetic psalmist, this radical expression, and people are afraid of it because they don't understand what God's doing.
Well, why do you think that? And also, you know, you use the term attack there. Some viewers, particularly perhaps around Europe, they go, what do you mean by attack? How can we articulate that in terms of relating that in a spiritual and natural sense?
The attack on the prophetic and the apostolic. Sure. Well,
the radical expression.
Yeah, the greatest attack is coming where people who are in Pentecostal charismatic waves are making accusation that this is not of God. This is you know, people. They will accuse and misrepresent people. I think one of the biggest things the apostles and the prophets are going to experience is misrepresentation and false accusation against their lives. Those are the two things that are going to happen, because the pastors of today are afraid of what's happening. You know,
well, why do you think that is?
Because there's a great move in the church. The people in the church today are swinging over into the prophetic. They are embracing the prophetic, and pastors are losing control. You know, our churches have been set up as a Saul order. Saul had control. Saul was interested.
King Saul.
Yeah, King Saul. Yeah, he was interested in image. His image was what counted. He wanted control. He wanted dominance. He wanted to be able to control the people. He tried to control David, even when David was ministering to him. And all of that control is in the Saul order, which is now in our local churches. The prophetic is the Davidic order. David couldn't care about image.
Title.
Yeah, title.
How cool he looked.
Yeah,
whether he was in the latest magazine.
Exactly. None of those things. In fact, he acted like a madman to save his life and ran around in caves with the scourge of Israel. You know, and that was David. And the Davidic order is what is moving now. Now the Sauls are losing control. And so in their losing of control, there's fear because the prophets and the apostles are coming forth. And the prophets and apostles, people, you see, people in the pews are not stupid. They understand by the Spirit. What we've been taught for so long in the church is to hear by the natural and see by the natural. So what I see an image, I hear how people articulate things correctly, and so I'm blessed by the benefit of that. But in the Davidic and the order, we are no longer going to hear by the natural, we're going to hear by the Spirit.
Spirit-led people.
As Spirit-led people, hearing by the Spirit.
A lot of people actually don't understand that whole concept of being a Romans 8 kind of Christian.
Right.
You agree with that?
Right, absolutely, because we want control. People want to be able to control their life. They want to be able to control their environment. They want to be able to control the standard of what's going on around them. So they want this control, and now God's saying, I want you to relinquish control so that you can flow by the Spirit, that you can walk in the Spirit, that you can understand my voice by the Spirit, that you can know what I'm doing by the Spirit,
and trust Him.
And trust Him, yeah.